I'm Bryony Kimmings and I am the writer and director of Pacifist's Guide to the War on Cancer. I'm also a performance artist. I guess all of it. I'm kind of responsible for the idea of making a musical about cancer. That's my fault. And I guess where we leave the audience in the end and how they leave is my fault. When I first started this project, I would have told you that I didn't have a connection to cancer. No one had ever really, as far as I knew, passed away in my family, or I'd never watched anyone dying of cancer or having cancer. But then when it comes down to it actually, and we talk to lots of people, I realise I have a massive relationship with it. I've probably been terrified of it, as everyone has forever. And also I found out quite recently that my nan died of lung cancer and that I never was told. And I think it's sort of like 6 steps from Kevin Bacon, like actually having a fear of cancer is a relationship to it. So for me, the war on cancer is 2 things. Practically and kind of logically, it's actually a thing that was started by Richard Nixon at a time when he needed some political clout and needed a success story, so he decided to latch onto the kind of activists surrounding cancer and say that he wanted to kind of start a war on cancer in the same way that Bush started a war on terrorism. It was a popularity thing. So it's a kind of tangible political plight. But more generally, I think the idea of a war on cancer for me is about the battle metaphors that we kind of surround stories of cancer with. I think that different illnesses have different metaphors for different reasons, and cancer seems to have a battle because it's much more terrifying to think that your body turns against you and that you have no control over it, as opposed to somehow kid yourself into believing that if you fight it, even though it's only a part of your body gone rogue, that you in some way kind of outsmart it. I think it's a coping mechanism. I think for me, being a pacifist in the war on cancer means that you allow everybody to do it just how they want. So my advice, if I was going to give advice, would be do whatever feels right for you. Try to do it for yourself and not for everyone around you, even though that's super, super difficult. And try to ignore anything that makes you feel bad or negative. So if fighting it and running in fluffy bras and cooking cakes isn't for you, the added guilt that could bring to the kind of journey you're on, it's probably not worth it. I think that maybe a common misconception is that it's going to be dramatic, and actually it's very slow and boring and lonely and all over the place. I think films would tell you that it's something way more dramatic than it actually is. It's just a period of your life.
My poor body, my poor, poor body.